Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Cesar Trabanco from the Global Chamber. We are running our Global Chamber India meetup for May, and I would like to introduce you to our new executive director for Delhi, Deva Priyakana, and she will be introducing herself and telling us a little bit more about her business, her background, and things that are happening in her region. So thank you, very Priya.
Thank you, Cesar. And thank you, Doug, for placing me on the hot seat. I think gives me an opportunity to talk a bit about myself, which I don't like doing too much, but more about the place that I represent and global trade, which I'm passionate about. So just to give a very quick and brief introduction, I've been in the corporate world for about 18 years. I've been a marketer, been an integral part of big organizations, brought in very interesting brands into India, which are iconic brands now. And while doing so, incidentally, I've always been launching new businesses and new brands, but under the vertical or under the umbrella of big established organizations like Nestle and ICICI and Carlsberg. So not by design, not by intention, but by the way things have evolved. I developed a startup mentality, entrepreneurial mentality. So way back in 2014, I gave up my corporate career, hung up my corporate boots, and became an entrepreneur, business owner. I started a strategic brand and marketing advisory firm, which even now I'm at the helm of. And we help funded startups, overseas companies to come into India through branding, marketing, community building. We work with, I personally work as a marketing consultant and a fractional outsourced CMO for many businesses. So that's been going great. But a large part of what I do is also around personal branding, which is not image consulting as people tend to understand in the Indian context, but it's more about using the same laws of consumer branding and applying it onto people to make them thought leaders, help them become visible. Now in 2023, I relaunched my personal branding business, and I'm actually looking to disrupt how personal branding is done across the world, because I'm sort of, it's similar to what Doug says about Global Chamber, AI with a heart. So I'm looking at personal branding with technology, and we're looking at making a platform out of our personal branding services where people come, they do DIY their own personal brand and make personal branding scalable and accessible to all. So the new organization is being called Visible. So the USP is there in itself. So apart from my personal branding and branding business, I actually run a community for women entrepreneurs, women in business, women founders essentially, to grow in the India-UK business corridor. It started as a COVID project, but like a passion project, but has now taken on a life of its own. This organization is registered in the UK, but we help women founders accelerate in the corridor at this point. Huge traction, a lot of significance. I've been able to speak at the House of Lords. I've been able to represent this organization in Leeds and Manchester. So I've literally been around the world, mostly in the UK, helping women entrepreneurs scale up and get visible. I'm looking at Dubai. I'm looking at other markets around the world to make sure that my mission is to help as many women entrepreneurs get globally connected. So this organization is called Connects Us Global Ventures. You can hit us up on LinkedIn. You can take a look at website and see how you can help us in this mission. And of course, my latest hat that which Doug has placed on my head is that of Executive Director of Delhi NCR. And we've been having very interesting conversations, Manoj and as well as Shankar. We've been talking about how we look at our initiative as Global Chamber India to create more impact, and we've got some thoughts around it, which we can talk about later. So that's largely about me. I'm based out of Gurgaon. And for those who don't know where that is, it's about an hour away from Delhi. It's on the suburbs, outskirts of Delhi. But this is where all the corporate action and all the startup action really is in Gurgaon. The ones in India will know that. So, I mean, any questions about me, my profile? I can just otherwise move on to talking a bit about how the what some key takeaways are about India right now as we speak. Okay, so I think can everyone hear me? Because we just lost the electricity for some time. All good? Okay, so I'll just move on to. Yeah, so I'll just dive into the exciting trends that are really shaping Delhi's and India's trade scenario. And some of you here, most of you here will actually find it interesting. And I'm just going to, I mean, we know all of this, but I'm just going to put the spotlight on a few things, and then I'll invite all of you to give us perspective so that we see how collectively we can do more in this arena. And, so we know that Delhi, being the vibrant capital city of India, serves as a hub for international trade, and it's because of its strategic location and well-developed infrastructure. It really is an ideal gateway for businesses looking to establish a presence in the Indian market. We are very geographically also very well poised and well placed. Our economy is diverse, and we have very strong sectors such as IT, automotives, handicrafts, textiles, pharma. And with all of this happening, Delhi really does offer immense potential for global trade partnerships. And when I say Delhi, I mean Delhi NCR, which is Delhi and Noida and Gurgaon and areas around it. India is witnessing a huge rise in e-commerce. We all know that, and Delhi is really no exception. We've witnessed an exponential growth in online retail, which is driven by increasing internet penetration and digital adoption. I mean, I spoke about something as based, as personal branding, I would say, as authentic and customized as personal branding. But now we are looking at tech. So can you imagine companies like health tech, femtech? It's just exploding all over India, and the world is our oyster. The world is our market. Lot of action happening in Delhi and NCR around it. Even traditional small town traders and business owners are now expanding their reach beyond brick and mortar setups. So Paytm and Google Pay and things like that. Any and every kirana shop, we call them, the small shops on the street corner, all of them have Paytm. So you just so digital penetration is actually leading the rise of e-commerce in Delhi. I mean, India's startup ecosystem has been thriving, and Delhi has been at the forefront of this revolution. The government is seated out of here. So government initiatives like Startup India have played a pivotal role in creating and enabling an environment for startups to thrive. When you look at things like platinum shows, for example, like the Shark Tank India, you see so many of these entrepreneurs who are coming from smaller towns close to Delhi, Meerut and things like that, and they're coming, and they're Chandigarh, Ludhiana, and they're coming to these contests, and they're pitching their businesses so confidently. And it's really, really heartening to see the kind of development that's happening in the startup ecosystem in Delhi. I mean, all of you are very aware that infrastructure plays a crucial role in facilitating trade and commerce. And Delhi has been investing significantly in improving its infrastructure, its transportation, logistics. And those of you who come into Delhi regularly, you've seen the expansion of airports, construction of expressways, and the development of logistics parks. And all of these developments are enabling smoother movement of goods, reducing costs, and driving overall trade efficiency. I met Shankar, who all of you know, and who's who's leading our initiatives out of Ahmedabad. and who's pretty much anchoring Global Chamber in India. I met him at India Global Forum in Delhi, which is a big conference. I met him for the first time out there, and we were like, because we'd seen each other on LinkedIn and on some of these conversation events, we were like, okay, Global Chamber, great. We met each other, and India Global Chamber, it's just one of the big international trade fairs that Delhi witnesses on a regular basis. We have a plethora of exhibitions, business conferences, trade missions, serving as platforms for businesses to showcase their products and services. And all of this also help us expand our global footprint and forge strong international partnerships. So this infrastructure, global forums, exhibitions, all of these things are there in almost, it's a generic conversation, and people who are industry watchers will know the spearheading role that Delhi plays in all of this. But keeping this in the background today, in addition, and you'd know why, because for those of you who heard my introduction, that I like to spotlight the role of women founders. And I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk about the role of women founders and entrepreneurs in driving global trade and commerce in Delhi and India. In recent years, women in Delhi and across India have been breaking barriers and shattering glass ceilings. There are so many examples. All of you know, you have read about many of these more visible entrepreneurs, but trust me, there are so many more who are like, unsung stories, but they are doing their bit. Many of them have emerged as entrepreneurs out of the pandemic, but we are witnessing a rising force of women entrepreneurs who are displaying resilience, innovation, and a determination in their pursuit of business success. And honestly, from traditional sectors to technology-driven ventures, it could be a small, grandmom whose grandkids are empowering her to use tech and use her traditional skills of pickle making, or Manoj, you would know, papad making. Women like that, to women who are actually driving and disrupting the tech sector. Women entrepreneurs have ventured into diverse industries, creating a significant impact on the global trade and commerce landscape. And at Connexus, because we run accelerator programs for women entrepreneurs, we have so many, we are seeing so many of them and the different ventures that they're running. Some very interesting femtech ventures. The mayor of Yorkshire, Tracy Brabin, she had come down to Bangalore, and I had hosted a roundtable, women in tech roundtable for her. And the kind of women-led businesses that we were able to curate around the table, it was just fabulous. And there are two businesses that actually went and set up their businesses in Leeds now. It's just amazing what's happening. And the Indian government, along with various private organizations and communities, are sort of strengthening and providing wings to this whole process. Programs like Startup India and Women Entrepreneurship Platform, WEP, MSME, they're providing financial assistance. Google has a startup program for women for mentoring, skill development, and technology has emerged as a powerful enabler. Great news, great winds of change happening all across. But while progress has been made, we must also acknowledge the challenges that women entrepreneurs continue to face. It's a reality. Access to capital, access to good mentors, social biases, stereotypes, work-life balance are all hurdles that need to be addressed collectively. And so women will dominate the workforce in India over the next few decades. And Delhi being the capital and the hub, we'll see a lot of action here. And women will be helping to shape and improve the nation's future. That's a fact. According to a report by IBEF, more than 30 million women-owned enterprises are predicted to create about 150 to 170 million jobs by 2030. And the economic outlook could improve dramatically as a result of this. And why I've chosen this forum to talk about this really is that through government support, through cross-border collaboration, technological advancements, and a collective commitment to gender equality, we at the Global Chamber can actually create an ecosystem that nurtures and empowers women entrepreneurs to thrive on the global stage. So just as a recap, very quickly, um, startup community, the startup, explosion of e-commerce, infrastructure, conferences, women entrepreneurs. I think these are some of the key trends that we are seeing. We have been seeing for the past few years, but all of these are collectively coming together to create multiple opportunities for Delhi and definitely for India. So that's from what I had to sort of present and talk about. Thank you very much for listening, and over to you to sort of tell me how we can actually make all of this happen.
Thank you very much, Priya. Any questions or comments you would like to add? Anyone in the room?
Priya, this is Manoj, and thank you for such a lovely update. And we had a great conversation last week, and we discussed on various aspects on how we could consolidate the India operations on with all the leaders we have in various regions and get together. And maybe that's a conversation we all need to have. I think me, you, and Shankar are on the same page. We'll get the others on the same page shortly, and make a unified force so that various other organizations treat our platform in India very seriously. We have a position on the table, whether it's a G20 summit happening. It's like all the larger organizations are invited to either participate in a panel, etc. And I think if we position ourselves well, that's what we intend to do. There is a decent amount of work which we need to do to create more awareness about Global Chamber in India, and that would probably involve, investing some time and efforts in social media presence, etc., because India runs a lot with that. And the moment we do that, it will help in creating awareness, membership, and of course, interaction with each one of us so that it can become more fulfilling. So that's what, and then one of the reasons then I thought somebody like Vipul I introduced briefly today just to, say hello. We could keep getting more people to come as visitors, then maybe join our forum, and each one with their own domain and respective strengths can really add value, because this is what everybody is looking at. And in fact, Karan, who's going to talk about Karan Gupta, his company and his mission, was also introduced by me in the forum, and I'm so happy to see Karan planning to present that today. So I will pause here and over to maybe if you want to listen to others, or maybe allow Karan to speak or whatever.
Thank you, Manoj. If there's no other questions or comments, I would just move on to Karan Gupta, our member from Premier Road Carriers. Karan, thank you for joining us today. And again, if you can introduce yourself, your business, but most importantly, what you're trying to achieve within the Global Chamber, and see how the community can support, that will be great.
Sure. Thanks, Caesar. Hi, Doug. Thanks for sharing all the updates, Devapriya. I'd like to congratulate you on your journey so far. And I really like to see the passion that you hold for women entrepreneurs. And I do see, a lot of women entrepreneurs that are coming up and will do really well in the coming future. Good evening, everyone. I'll take this opportunity to, give you a quick brief about myself and the work that I'm doing. So I'm based out of Mumbai, born and brought up here, got a chance to do my education across different countries. I went to the UK, did my grad school from the United States, came back and joined our family business. So currently, we are a company that's primarily into logistics. When I say logistics, our expertise lies in surface transportation. So our company spans across three generations. I'm the third generation now in the company. We are a 55-year-old company, India-based. So to and fro anywhere in the country, we are currently providing surface transportation. I would say what's unique about our company is that we are completely asset light, so we don't own any trucks. So essentially, we are aggregators. We are aggregating the supply side and then adding our value-added services and giving a holistic solution to our clients. So essentially, how I got introduced, obviously, Mr. Manoj, how, as he said, he introduced me to the Global Chamber. One of the primary reasons for reaching out or being a part of this forum was, since we have this expertise in one particular vertical of the entire supply chain, which is the road transportation, we are currently looking to add more verticals, maybe freight forwarding, warehousing, custom clearance. So we recognize the need to provide a one-stop shop to our clients, and we sense that the right way to go forward is through collaboration rather than doing it as a greenfield project. And I felt that a forum like this where there are people across industries, or spread over different countries, would be the right place for me to potentially see if I can find partners or even advisors who can build connections for us and maybe connect us to the right companies. So this is essentially a brief of what exactly we're doing and what we're looking for. And happy to connect with all of you, hoping maybe I can add value to your businesses in some way. And if you have any leads for what I'm looking at, I'm happy to, take this conversation forward, or happy to answer any questions as well.
Thank you, Karan, for sharing. And Devpriya, should we allow each one to speak, share, and maybe I can also request Vipul, because he's a new potential, to maybe share his view, and the other presidents also, or the other regional chamber heads to also share, and then maybe we can come to some kind of a thought process.
Yes, I think that will be great. Do you, Manoj, want to quickly recap what we really talked about, those 2 or 3 things that we can probably start with, and then all of them can see how they can add value and come together.
So Devpriya, you're in the flow and the hot seat. Please do that.
I mean, this is the advantage and disadvantage of diversity. I'm used to being the only woman in the room always, but gentlemen, what we really thought, Manoj, myself, and then I bounced it off Shankar as well when I spoke to him, is that at this point, rather than promoting our respective regions, I think we need to probably speak about Global Chamber India as a whole, because we feel that will provide greater impact. And we look at ourselves as probably like a leadership team that's sort of leading this vision. We've got key competencies in certain areas. And I think all of us, if we work collectively, we were thinking maybe we can have a landing page, like a website of sort, just a one-pager maybe, where we talked a bit about the mission of Global Chamber, what we at India we are looking to achieve, and then that would lead on to the broader social media links of the Global Chamber as a whole. And we could probably have a couple of virtual trade missions, thought leadership conferences and virtual summits and things like that, where and networking meets where we could get more people in, talk about Global Chamber, show the value, demonstrate what we are there for, and then get people to sign up as members. So broadly, this is what we thought. We'll work in a very collaborative manner. We're very, very open to hearing from all of you on how you think you can help the India story for Global Chamber to grow. And since Cesar and Doug are here, maybe they can sort of give us inputs on how it's being done in different parts of the world, and how we could probably take some best practices. In case I've left out something, Manoj, maybe you can add.
I think you summarized it well, Devpriya. And the key is to have a presence, and other bodies and other platforms to look at us more seriously, and for us to grow, and as you said, get virtual seminars going, and in our regional thing, we could do offline meetings, etc., where Doug, Caesar, and other international players can join us virtually. We could have a hybrid model there. Maybe take certain sectors, like it could be supply chain logistics for what Karan is doing, and fintech and other things. Vipul does a lot of work on startups, and maybe, I mean, we can slice and dice and do on various where there is interest point and people see value in that.
Over to some of you. Maybe you can just sort of add to
Vipul,
this.
do you want to give a quick background, Vipul, about yourself in a nutshell? You're on mute, Vipul. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, done that. So at the outset, let me thank you, Manoj and Doug, for having me here. Where's Shankar? I can't see him. Shankar is from Ahmedabad, right, Manoj? So yeah. So I'm excited to be here. Global Chamber. So what I claim to do, my company is called Mortgage World, and we work across geographies in the field of mortgages. In addition to that, having been there for a number of years, I've bought and sold a couple of companies. So I started getting interested in the startup space. Currently, I'm mentoring 3 startups in the mobility and the fintech arena. Also, just to add a little bit about me, I run a foundation called Vilaksh Foundation, which is a non-profit focused on providing homes to the senior citizens. We have instances specifically in large metros where senior citizens have a lot of issues and they need real help and they need to be accommodated. So our tagline is Swarg ke pehle Swarg, which essentially means that you need to experience the heavenly abode before you actually are there, because none of us have seen what heavens are like, but we can make the senior citizens that experience of the golden age much better, smoother. There are domestic violence kind of issues happening. They need help there. In addition to that, my nonprofit is also focused on creating sustainable employment, vocational training. And we've just started last year. We got all government permissions, thankfully, and we should be going all guns blazing in coming months. We are acquiring land parcel in the vicinity of 100 kilometers from Mumbai. So anyone having interest in philanthropy and doing any activity in the vicinity of Mumbai is welcome to join here with me. I have been talking to a lot of people, entrepreneurs across the globe. My partner Mona operates out of Dubai, and we help people in India to kind of transition their businesses in various geographies globally. We help them understand the investment avenues available in various parts of the world. And when Manoj spoke to me about global chambers, I said, Manoj, I have to be here because this is one forum where we talk to be global. We do a lot of things. But if there is a platform like Global Chambers, I think it will give us a mileage, one, that's from the business and the social perspective. More than that, it will give all of us an opportunity to collaborate. And like rightfully said, all of us, if we all come together and we present something which is very powerful, very global, and today, like Devapriya very rightly pointed out, fintech is the biggest thing that's happening worldwide. Every vendor in India, for those who would like to know, even a small vendor, like very small values are also transacted over cellular networks, So every transactions happen with this. You don't need cash, you don't need cards. It's just this to do all your financial transactions. And that's where the India story is taking us. And this is a huge opportunity for all of us to collaborate, take this idea of, global tech conglomerates worldwide. And I think if we all come together and make right efforts in the right direction, if we can come as a single force, we would definitely make a big difference to everyone, not just in their businesses, but also socially. So I look forward to staying connected here. And if there is anything that we can advise or we can talk about, or anyone has any specific questions, you're welcome. More so, in the space where my domain expertise is mortgages and fundraising. So if there is anything in that space, I would be happy to help and make things happen. And if I missed out anything, Manoj, because this is my first interaction, and I'm so excited that I'm really missing out on things which I would love to say, but I think in next couple of interactions I'll be able to say more. People will know more, and I think there would be opportunities which can be explored jointly.
Yeah, I think you covered it well, Vipul. In the considering, I just got you jumped into this call, and explained it well. And definitely, thank you for your inputs. I think let's rotate it. Maybe Lokesh, Harold, anybody else wants to then share, and then we will leave to Andre, and if Doug is around and others, so that at least our Indian, heads can keep sharing. Lokesh, you want to go ahead with that? And
yeah, so I have two opportunities, one in June end in Vietnam and another is in 17th August in Delhi. Devapriya spoke about e-commerce domain and how people are literally making a lot of success in the e-commerce. So at the Federation of Business Ambassadors, which is a federation of buying agents for us, we have a hosted web program where we invite qualified buyers to come to India. And we are incentivizing the entire travel, including the flight ticket. So a cost of $6,000 with your hotels, travel, cars, taxis, B2B exhibitions, factory visits, 3 days of business and 3 days of sightseeing in India is paid by the Federation. They only pay $999. That is a big focus on e-commerce sellers from Europe and US we're targeting for. This could be one of the global chambers. We can add global chambers as our partners, and you can literally have that promotion happening among travel partners or e-commerce sellers. The other is, which I just shared with Manoj, is that our Indian consulate in Vietnam is hosting it Invest India in Vietnam, and he's inviting. Personally, I have a meeting tomorrow with him to figure out how we do it. He wants me to bring in 4 or 5 people along with from India in specific product sectors. I will again introduce global chambers over the email with them, so that if Indian chapter, Manoj or Devapriya and all of you would like to now encash upon that opportunity and placing yourself as a global chamber in India's team, that could be an opportunity we can explore. I am just throwing out my ideas. I don't know how much they will add value to global chambers, but that is 2 things which I can contribute with my experience and my network. Thank you.
Thank you, Lokesh. I see Aarti also come in. Aarti, you're there,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
Aarti,
Hello,
I had
Manoj.
the occasion to meet Aarti. I think she's very involved in, and she understands a lot and has a lot of experience. Aarti, do you want to? We had a conversation at my house a couple of weeks
Yes.
back, and we, so Aarti, over to you, and then we'll rotate it to others.
Sure. Thank you, Manojji. Well, hello and good evening, good morning to everyone over here. I'm Aarti Nimkar from Mumbai. At the moment, I'm in Goa for my event, which is based on pharma and healthcare. And I could relate to what just Lokeshji was just discussing. And I'm into similar activities. I'm a founder and CEO of India Economic Development Association. And I also spearhead another entity called Global Strategic Networking Alliance. I'm basically into B2B media. So yes, my niche area is also about B2B networking events. I'm into trade exhibition, conferences, seminars, and also I work for the entrepreneurs, where through my association, I mentor, train, and handhold the startups and SMEs. So I just try to summarize in short what I'm doing right here. And I completely agree with Lokeshji. And I think, Lokeshji, I see a lot of synergies between what you're doing. So we can get on a separate call for that. But yes, that's what I'm doing. And I think Global Chamber has always been a part of all my events and which will continue to be so. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Aarti. And I would like to add here, when we met, and Aarti is very action oriented, and I would agree with Devapriya. I have a lot of respect for women entrepreneurs because I have 3 daughters who are also chasing their careers and doing meaningful things. So one of the things I shared with Aarti in my brief conversation over a lunch meeting at my house was that through the Mexican consulate, I had a requirement for they wanted medicines because they are in need from India, and the government has a kind of an opening. Aarti immediately connected with me to somebody meaningful. At least the conversation has started, who would probably look at, that. And there is another thing on somebody wanted some chemicals rather. Sorry, Aarti, it's the chemical things we started on.
Yes, yes,
And then
yes.
you connected me to somebody. So I think what we require is, and here I would like to just deviate a little bit. With various chambers, which we all have been privy to, there is a lot of talk which goes on, but when the follow-up and action needs to happen, it falls in the crevices or in the cracks. So I think for us to be successful and for people to take us seriously, we need to show, winning case studies or, success stories, etc. Whether it's a trade or an, activity happening or transaction happening where we can facilitate. So I think if we can keep that motto, Devapriya, in addition to what you said, it will, people will take us seriously. So whether it's a mandate we take from somebody or help a member who's there, like Karan, I'm speaking to him offline to see how I can personally help him to, shape a few things which he's looking at, and of course expand his network. So I think that's what Aarti, in addition to that, I just wanted to quickly just add that in terms of real connectivity to make a difference.
And I think more interactive we could be all of us between each other. That will develop more opportunities we can exchange with all of each other. I think that way. And I think Devapriya, I have already got acquainted with you on another group called GITC. After that, I think this is another platform we have come across. So yes.
Yeah, and you're right, Aarti ji, you're right that I think we need to sort of come together to have some tangible takeaways. And
Yes.
like you, I'm also very action oriented. So beyond conversations, we really need to see real result. And as
Yes.
Manoj says that we need to probably, I think it's about showcasing the actual value that Global Chamber is bringing into the lives of people, of its members, of its stakeholders, and creating actual proof of concept. That's what is going to drive things forward.
So I will just like to add one more small thing, that today itself, as I said, I'm in Goa. So GEDA, that is Goa Energy Development Authority, has come forward and they have invited me with a proposal to hold a green energy, renewable energy related event. So why I'm bouncing this idea today itself with all of you is, if anybody of you can come forward and support or guide me for doing this energy event and have their contribution, I'll be most happy, and we can all work on this together because we are all on this platform of GC. So yes, and I will share the details of that just in a week's time, the preliminary draft of the energy event which I'm going to conduct.
Thanks, Aarti. Darshan, you want to, because I think we have got 15 minutes of time and then we can rotate the rest of the people, then finally give it to Cesar or Doug to conclude. And Darshan, you want to quickly step in?
Yes, I'll quickly introduce myself. Before introduction, thanks Cesar and Doug to make me a part of this wonderful organization called Global Chamber. Hello friends, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I'm Darshan Chandan from Hemaditya Impacts and Shipping. That is what my company name is. I'm based out of Vadodara, Gujarat. And I'm born and brought up in Kutch, but now settled in Baroda, Gujarat. So we have basically we are into shipping, international logistics. That what Karan was saying, that where his limits ends, our limit starts. So we are into freight forwarding, custom clearance, and luckily I had a meeting with Karan last week when I was in Mumbai. So might be some collaborations could happen between both of us just because of Global Chamber. So thanks in advance for that. And apart from this organization, I'm also a part of few committees. I represent Exim Club Vadodara, that is a chamber of exporters and importers, which has almost 500 plus members. I'm a vice president with the Exim Club. I'm also associated with startup organization that is TIE Global. I'm sure you might have heard about the organization. So I'm a secretary, honorary secretary with TIE Vadodara. actually me and the president got this organization into Baroda. Apart from that, I have been secretary of the Roundtable organization, Roundtable International, and Rotary Club also. Apart from my business activities, I also run a social campaign, which I believe and everyone should do certain activities by the name of Book Meetup campaign. So that is kind of my ISR part or CSR part, whatever you call it, because I believe that as every corporate has a compulsion of CSR, that is corporate social responsibility, every individual should also have the individual social responsibility towards the society to give back. And to run any organization, I rather believe that if you think of getting something from organization, rather I would say that all members should come on the same page that we should give to organization, so that we can definitely help more members joining in the organization. So this is what my belief is. Thank you. And pleasure to see you all today, because this was my first meeting, online meeting, which I have attended for the Global Chamber.
Thanks, Darshan. Harold, do you want to take a shot?
Yes, Manoj, but first I would say Jai Shri Krishna to Darshan, Vipul, and all our friends. I'm very happy that he's from Baroda. I keep coming to Gujarat. I'm right now based in the US. I have a non-profit organization called Eyes Open International, which is focused on human trafficking. And I have a branch in India. So Manoj, I think maybe in a next meeting, I'm going to invite him, who is the regional director for India, and that's the best platform to connect and collaborate. So we just saved, like in Gujarat, we didn't save, sorry. I'm just, one family died in March from Messara. I don't know if you're aware, when they're crossing from Canada to the US, husband 50, wife 45, 23, 20, right? So that is what I do. I try to create awareness, prevention, education, protection. And that is my goal, because America is the destination, but countries like India, Pakistan, Nepal, Mexico is the source country. So creating awareness in source countries is my goal. But just to sum up, I would like to share that, in 2015, I was appointed by President Barack Obama at the White House on the United States Advisory Council on Human Trafficking. I was reappointed by President Donald J. Trump at the White House. So I've served over there. Martin Sheen, whom you all know, is doing a documentary on me on labor trafficking. And the name of the documentary is To Be Free. So you can check it out. The teaser trailer is out. And I just signed the life right agreement at Bombay for a Bollywood biopic silver screen blockbuster film, which they're doing on me from India to the White House. So please get connected. I'm really happy and proud what you all are doing in your respective field. So thank you very much. And Jai Shri Krishna.
So, Harold, very interesting, and I'll take a minute more on this. That you're talking about human trafficking. So, one of my dear friends, who's India's one of the best filmmakers, Rajkumar Hirani, is making a film with Shah Rukh Khan called Dunki, D-U-N-K-I. It will be releasing on 22nd of December, and that movie is about human trafficking. Donkey the mule, which was used as a word earlier, people from especially North India, how they were tricked into getting into countries. So that's a separate conversation, but that's a hot topic, and we'll talk offline, and I can connect you to one of these folks who, because of the work you do, and maybe we can, because it's timely and they're doing it and they're good friends, so I'll connect you offline on that.
And Manoj, we will connect. I'm sorry I was slacking. I know you emailed me. I think we have to connect on a Zoom call, but we will do that.
And then we'll all get together and see how we can, Devapriya and me will take the lead and get all of you together to see that. I think Lothar is there. Lothar, you've been listening to us patiently. Sorry, we are all been. And then we have, who else is Andre? We have Andre, yes. Andre, you want to do it first because from Pune, and then we give it to Lothar, and then whoever else is there, I can see their faces, then we can, because Doug maintains a strong timeline, so we have 8 minutes. So, Andre, you want to quickly?
Yes, thank you, Manoj. Let me be very brief. I appreciate all the people whom I know, all the people whom I'm seeing first. Greetings from Pune. I'm myself MD in charge of Pune chapter. So we are launching full chapter very soon. We're in discussion with Duke and internally as well about building internal infrastructure. I'm managing partner international HIC Capital Group, which is a project investment global facilitation hub. I have a diplomatic background. I left the government of Belarus in 2020. And I was representing Indian Chamber abroad for some time, and I'm still keeping this portfolio for 5 countries. So like here, what I see is a possible possibility for collaboration. First and foremost, the capacity of like female entrepreneurship, as Devapriya is telling us, is a stronghold of like present global agenda, and this is where we have the feet of what is happening in India and abroad as well. So this is a very strong point to promote. Second thing, like what Karan was telling, that it is very important to understand who has what and how we can utilize this for not building everything like from zero. So like regarding global exchange, how we can build it up, I think this year is the year of launch of like new people, new chambers, the year of evolving, we can say, yeah. So like within this year, we will get each other introduced. We will understand who can be helpful in what modus operandi, and I'm pretty sure that like by strengthening that, we can bring it together. But I would like to stress that we need to get focused on the points where global agenda is not going against, we can say, Indian realities. So like, and there are a lot of, we can say, like focus areas, a lot of scope. Thanks for today's session. In touch.
Thank you, Andre. Lothar, over to you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Lothar Solomon with ZG Worldwide. We're a multi-specialty group based in Illinois, USA.
Lothar, little loudly. We can't hear you properly. At least I can't. So probably
okay.
little.
Is this better?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this better? Okay, I'll get closer. Yeah, I'm with ZG Worldwide, a multi-specialty group of subject matter experts and consultants in IT, business, healthcare, and marketing. And to kind of conceptualize who we are, what we do, is our business model roughly approximates that of Accenture, which has thousands of people across the world with many capabilities serving many industries. But unlike them, we focus on small to mid-sized businesses that are too small for them. And we have a footprint in India in that we have outsourcing of accounting services. We represent IP Pasricha from Delhi, Mumbai, and several other cities in India. Plus, we represent several software development companies, AI, digital transformation, informatics. And we encourage people around the world, if they need these services, to go to India, because India has a tremendous amount of talent. And to find out more about us, we have something called our flip book. So I left my contact information. I could send anybody a copy of our flip book that kind of explains better who we are and what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Lothar. And anybody else? I've seen Falguni just join up. Falguni, you want to quickly share about yourself in the interest of time?
Hello, everybody. I'm Falguni Parekh. Hi, Andre. I am an immigration solicitor from the UK, and I advise on UK immigration and nationality laws, and I help companies, particularly SMEs and MSMEs, to set their footprints in the UK through corporate migration. I also do personal migration as well. So if you're looking to expand your footprints and set up an office in the UK, you can reach out to me and I'll be happy to assist.
Interesting, thanks. Cesar, is there anybody else we are missing? Because some of the names I can't read behind, and yeah. And not Doug, if you're around.
I don't think so. I think I heard from everyone here.
Okay.
Trying to
So
shake.
yeah. We can see Doug back. Doug, we've almost come to, I think, the close of the session in terms of each one has expressed themselves, and the tribe is growing. And of course, we from the India chapter all of us will get together and probably, as Devpriya rightly summarized, what we intend to do and share with you a plan of action in terms of a landing page and some verticals and some action on the ground So hopefully by the time we have a next India meet, we should be, have some ammunition to an action to talk about. So Doug, over to you.
Great. I think also as we look at where we are today, if you know people in Kolkata, I know we've been, Sarah and I have been working with a group there, and we've had a little bit of a challenge of communicating with back and forth with them to see if they're going to be a fit. But if there are places within India where leaders, we'd love to be able to be connected to them and continue to build out so that we have a full spectrum of regions represented. That would be great. I really appreciate all of you attending today, sharing your information. These are intended to be a regular communication, and so as we grow, let's pull more people in, as has been referred, but also let's continue to demonstrate our value to Indian companies, meaning, let's find ways to help them expand internationally. There's so many things going on, and we've already done a lot, but let's do more. And then also make sure that we continue to communicate, and this is our role here outside of India, to make sure that companies know about the opportunities in India. I want to come back to India as soon as I can. I want to eat real Indian food instead of the garbage that they serve in Arizona. There's a lot better Indian food in California, I will say. And so, but I really want the authentic, and to be able to do that, I know, we need to create value. We need to keep growing. And so thank you all for your activities there. At the end of the day, our goal is to make you successful and make you more successful. That's the only thing that really matters to us. And we know by doing that, we'll continue to grow. It's not about us growing. It's about having you have more impact, more success, and more business growth. So thank you all. Devapriya, thank you for leading us here today. And Manoj, you always also lead by example, and also through this meeting. Maybe perhaps Devapriya should have the last word. Devapriya, what would you like to say in conclusion, please?
Again, thank you very much. I think it's been just incredible listening to everyone in the room today, different perspectives and different ways in which each person can add value. It's been a very rich conversation and really well moderated by Manoj, as always, the super connector. And you've been the super connector today also. I really look forward to what we can do together. I think we've been, and personally, we've been a little slow to start. There've been sort of a lot of things, but I think now that we are having these conversations and we are speaking offline ourselves, I think there is a lot of opportunity with Falguni, Manoj. I'm just seeing, I'm just connecting the dots, and I'm seeing how there are different people who can add different dimensions to what Global Chamber India can do together to add value, not only to the thought leadership of our members, but also to really move our businesses collectively into the global arena and make a tangible difference. So yes, I'm completely looking forward to this. As Manoj mentioned, in the next meetup, we will be back with a roadmap for 2023, 2024, what that would look like, specific flagship events, a website which is in the making, and exciting updates. And I sincerely invite all of you to join hands with us. We're all doing this together, and let's get more people in, and let's make Global Chamber a force to reckon with, which delivers actual results. Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure being here with all of you today.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Devapriya. Thanks, Manoj. Thank you for jumping in.
Thank you.
Let's keep looking for success stories.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. So looking forward for more. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.